Hi, my name's Paul Sullivan, and I'm doing this presentation on behalf of the Via Dappia application, and it's a submission for the Chainlink 2023 Spring Hackathon. The idea for this project actually came several years ago. Fortunately, I showed an early demonstration of it to Harry on the Chainlink developer relations team, and he suggested that I submit this project into the hackathon, and that's what I'm doing. The idea behind the project is, what if roads could be the sort of tokenized real-world assets or road pieces? They could be these assets that are on the blockchain and owned by individuals or companies, and all of the metadata associated with those tokens can be used to define the criteria of that road piece. Drivers can be driving along and their location can be tracked such that when they go a certain distance on an owned road asset, and that road's cost per unit distance is all in the metadata, a sort of micropayment is applied and sent directly to the owner. It's kind of a high-level overview of how everything works. We have this React application that was built using JavaScript, and it's interacting with a smart contract that's currently deployed on Ethereum's Sepolia testnet. That smart contract does all of the minting for all of the roads, so it can be sent to anyone who has an Ethereum wallet address. It also handles all of the logic for a driver. A driver will be driving along a road. The application will be constantly monitoring that driver's location. And if and when he turns onto one of these road assets, it handles all of the logic for determining the amount of payment that should be sent to the road owner based on all of the trips taken along these roads, as we'll be demonstrating the application in a little bit here.
All right, we are in Salt Lake City, right by Trolley Square. Right, so the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna connect my wallet. Let's see what's going on in the back end. All right, we've queried all of the road information as far as all of the roads that are owned. It's like I'm starting my car up, I'm about to go on a trip. This application is going to track me along the way. As I turn on one of these owned roads, we're gonna see it start recording a path, and then the blockchain will handle all of the payments. At the end, once I turn the ignition off, all of that information, the distance that I traveled on any one of these owned roads, it's all going to be sent to the blockchain. The price per unit of distance is going to be applied for whatever road I went on, and it's going to be paid to that road owner. We're going to see here in a moment that I'm on one of these owned roads, and a path is going to start to be recorded. You can see we've turned on to one of the owned roads now. As we can see in the console, that a path is being currently populated. That's all of my distance information, and this is ultimately going to be sent to the smart contract to do a calculation for how much to pay the owner of that based on however distance I travel on this road. I'm probably just going to make a little U-turn and then turn off the road. That location information is tracked, the distance is calculated, and there's on-chain logic that distributes a proportional payment based on that distance and everything to the owner of that NFT. And we'll see that happen on the back end in the smart contract itself. U-turn here. Let's just go ahead and turn off here, and we'll see what happens. Now you can see that my path was recorded, and let's say that I'm home or I'm at my destination. I'm just going to park right now. Parking will be analogous to, in the future where I see this, kind of plugging directly into cars' APIs like Tesla's. Once I'm at my destination, I'm going to turn my ignition off. And that's confirming that this trip is done, and all of the payments based on whatever roads I traveled are going to be submitted to the owners of those road assets. So yeah, pretty cool. We're somewhere completely different in Salt Lake City now.
Let's see what happened yesterday on the back end from the contract's perspective. So we can see these are the two trips that I recorded myself driving on. I unfortunately just went on the same road twice. As we can see, payments were made directly to this user right here, which if I view their MetaMask, these are the NFTs associated with them. Unfortunately, I can't look at these in OpenSea because it doesn't have Sepolia integrated yet. We were driving on this. This is 700 here. The highlighted areas where it's defined. We were driving somewhere around here. We can see that the payment for each of those little paths that we took, the short one we could see was a fraction of a kilometer. The next one we took was a little more than a kilometer, so you can see it's a greater payment. It's all based on the distance traveled. These were a couple of other tests that I did. As you can see, these were on different roads, and they got paid to different owners that own those assets. And here we could just see all the methods that are happening, the ignition on being called ignition off, etc. But this contract's pretty cool. It handles all of the minting of the different road assets, the organization of all of that and everything. Plus it handles all of the logic for paying the owners from the drivers themselves.